Hi, my name is Jaden Juco, and I'm an architect major at UC Berkeley, and this is my research presentation on Tatiana Bilbao and her takes and approach in modern architecture canon. Okay, so a little bit about her early life. She was born in Mexico City on August 2, 1972. Growing up, her family was also interested in architecture, and one of her grandfathers was a minister in urban development. This led to her attending Universidad Iber- Ibero-Americana and majored in architecture and urbanism and graduated in 1996. Before focusing on becoming an architect, she primarily worked as an advisor in the Ministry of Development and the Housing of the Government of the Federal District of Mexico City, just like her grandfather as well. And she worked more on landscape architecture jobs, as well as more residential projects. However, while she was working as an advisor, she noticed like the civic issues arising due to the way the bureaucracy was being governed and inspired her to create her own firm to fix the problems herself. So her approach involves geometry built out of classic modern steel and glass, but also including material like concrete and wood to be more cost efficient and sustainable. These builds consist of stacked geometric shapes to create very bold overhangs and flexible forms that are then integrated into nature and picturesque landscapes, depending on the client. So, an example of this is her social housing project called Housing Plus that can be found in the Jalisco mountain landscape. And this focuses on addressing the housing crisis in Mexico due to the rapidly increasing population of 28 million. The design aims to solve the problem in a sustainable way that also includes making sure that the target client's needs are met. The design includes different geometric prototypes to fit different sizes of families, which is evident in the right picture of her plans. And not only that, but when she was conducting the research interviews with the intended like residents, they mentioned that they wanted the houses to look complete, which I'll touch upon later. And then an example is her affordable housing project. Oh, my bad. The Pilgrim's Route, which is so the next project is the Pilgrim's Route, which is her project description. No, the next project is the Pilgrim's Route, which in her project description found on her website is described as a religious phenomenon centered and moved by the adoration to the Virgin of Talpa. She had designed this landscape and plan with an accompanying chapel one can hike to on this like religious pilgrimage, as well as a monument called the Mesa Colorada Hermitage, which is showed in this picture. The Mesa Colorada Hermitage, with its um, four white concrete slabs, contrasts with the reddish brown sandy landscape. Um, Captures her use of simple rectangular shapes with strong colors found in nature, both giving way for audience to notice the architecture as well as the nature. So to combine social and environmental focus, some of her previous projects include art museums, historical sites, and even an aquarium. Bilbao believes in education and the power it has to influence and fix current issues. This is evident in her most current work, which is the Collegium, found in Avila province, north of Madrid, Spain. So this building or set of buildings, according to the new project description, will unite old and new buildings to highlight the history, but also accommodate to the community present. Um, since it is a part of an old monastery, there will be a lot of historical art and artifacts that this site will be home to. Though the project is yet to be built, the plans and sections help illustrate the said patchwork of old and new contrasting textures that could be found yet still being cut in very like prominent rectangles to indicate the new buildings, patching up the holes that was once there, um, which can be seen in this slide, well, this picture right here, the top right. Um, so Tatiana's take on modern architecture. Her practice kind of reminds me of Team X, except the difference between these two firms is that Bilbao actually studies the historical backgrounds and incorporates it into uses in her design. She works with the residents of the target group, or like she is very collaborative with her clients. And it's evident in Housing Plus because she consulted them on how they wanted to look. And all they said was that they wanted to look finished because in third world countries, people build their houses in sections and parts, and it always looks like a work in progress, which means that like your money comes in installations, which like it's nothing to be ashamed of, but like most people want finished houses, and which is not really an option sometimes. But I think like this touched upon like my architectural anecdote because like I come from the Philippines, and throughout my childhood, like my childhood home was built in sections whenever like our family could get money. And I guess like having like a set starter home only to be added onto later, like, oh, it looks complete. I feel like that was very important to me. And it just means a lot as someone who like had to worry about like, I guess like status and like how things looked. But other than that, I also appreciated her use of collage in her plans and sections to demonstrate her renders, because I feel like collages are very like connected, or like they have a connotation to like people and like the ever-changing modern ways. And I feel like it's a very like collaborative, because like in some parts like it's drawn, and but other parts like there's pictures, which I feel like represents her collaboration with the with her target audience or target clients. So she takes into account on the old existing buildings very well. And she's an architect who's very aware of the site her projects will be built on. I decided to choose Bilbao because of her focus in fixing modern problems like environmental injustice, rising populations, and the erasure of historical anthropology by integrating modern architecture. Though cliche, modern problems require modern solutions, and Tatiana Bilbao is one of them. Thank you.